Look, baby, when they don't want something to go live, they don't want us to go live about something, they will mess with the streaming service down to like the camera. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. But happy Sunday fun day. I just spoke with my dad. I spoke with Papa Bay. We talked on the phone. He calls me regular. I don't like that. I don't answer the phone normally because people call me regular and then I have to pay for it. But since it was my dad, I was like, fine. Oh my God. I didn't want to argue with him because I'm like, can you call me how I tell you to call me? But it's okay. It's okay. Like, I was just letting him know my grievances because let me tell y'all something. I don't want to say I'm the most responsible, but when you have your life together or seemingly you have your life together, oh my goodness, it's like everybody else does not have common sense. It's so irritating. But I keep my boundaries up because I was letting my dad know where I stood. I was like, look, I am not playing when I say this. We need to rectify some things. We need to tighten up. But of course, my dad was saying he was proud of me and he's thankful that um, I'm out here living my life. That's what he encourages all the time, that I live my best life and to stay focused and do what I want to do. Because he already knows, like, I'm going to definitely do me to the fullest. But that being said, it is after Thanksgiving, the Indigenous people's holiday. So much has happened, so much has transpired. Thank you to everybody who watched my Ray J and Princess Love video. I did it because I honestly want to be out the group chat. Like, make sure y'all go check that out. I was thinking about doing another upload, just showing like the history of Princess Love and Ray J and why it was never gonna work, but I don't know. I don't know if I feel like doing it or not. I have absolutely no clue what I want to do with that. But that being said, we are going to be talking about MAGA. MAGA is failing. I'm going to definitely talk to y'all about that. We got to get back into the politics because right now there's a lot of things happening and I think y'all should know about it, especially if you live in the domestic US and the neighboring cities and states of those who are going to be affected by these primaries that are coming up. Y'all know it has been my motto, primary them. If they're not doing their part, we're definitely going to talk about the Democrats too. Also, we're talking about Kanika Jenkins' mother. That's really what happened. I put Kanika Jenkins in the title and they was like, no ma'am. The camera wasn't working. Nothing was going on. So I was like, oh. So I had to put Teresa Martin. We're talking about Kanika Jenkins' mother because we have to talk about some things. Y'all know, if you're an OG babe, y'all remember I said everything about the Kanika Jenkins situation did not make sense because when I first started my platform, there was things still coming about, Jebediah Brown was speaking. I think his name is Zach Fox or something Fox. I forget his name, the guy who passed away, who was unalived, things of that. So we're going to be speaking on that. And of course, we're going to talk about Kandi Burris and this prenup. Baby, the prenup. I told y'all, I said that Kandi was going to have to fight for everything. That's really why she was over there crying and carrying on the way that she was doing. And we got to talk about Ziwe being dragged. Oh my goodness. Y'all, we're going to talk about it. But before we get started, let's like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that notification bell so you can get all the updates and alerts. And remember, opinions are not facts. Everything we say here is allegedly and for entertainment purposes solely. So sit back, relax, sip you some apple juice or my favorite vegan water, and let's get into the mess, shall we? How you can like this video is by double tapping the screen or hitting those three dots right there. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe if you like the vibe. If you are actively watching right now, please like this video. Don't like it later, like it now. Also, how you can hype up this video, how you can send a donation, how you can, engage in this video is by hitting those three dots right here. Please and thank you. And that being said, opinions are not facts, and everything we say here is allegedly and for entertainment purposes solely. I have to say that one more time because, child, the girlies will do everything but like the video, like that video now, don't like it later. Put us in the algorithm, Bay Squad, please and thank you. Happy Sunday fun day. I hope y'all are having a beautiful day. I did not go live yesterday. It's because I was outside. I was just enjoying my time. I said I'm going to just continue to enjoy my time. And please stay on topic, everybody. If I'm not talking about it, do not put it in the chat. I just ask all that just simply because I don't want people to be confused. I would like us to stay on the topic and don't feed the trolls. I shouldn't have to say that. Y'all should know that by now. But some of y'all are so easily distracted. Like, don't get distracted. It's Sag season. It's my birthday month. Y'all know I celebrate the entire December. I celebrate the entire December. Do you understand? Do you understand me? That being said, let's see who's up in here. Hey, it's Shonda. Hey, Clutching My Pearls. Hey, Cece. What is going on? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, Meezy. Hello, Darius. What is going on? Hey, Free Thinker. I already had to time somebody out because they was trying it. Please don't try me. We will time you out and go about our day. Yes, Sash Gang. What is going on? So I want to start off with something I saw. I really wanted to talk about, but I don't want to do it. So I saw the Oprah Winfrey, I think she has a podcast now. She has a podcast. And Oprah Winfrey she did this no contact, boundary, where she interviewed kids who had no contact with their parents. She interviewed parents who had no contact with their children. And they just had this beautiful dialogue. To me, it was very beautiful. It was very, it was eye-opening to where we're at in society. And I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. I feel like if someone is not serving you in this season, put your boundaries up. There's nothing wrong with that. I went no contact with somebody. I have not spoken to them since I've got into Asia. I don't play those games. I told y'all I had a whole, I literally was going through a lot last year. I went through so much and I overcame it. But things like that are monumentous in your life, it changes you, whether it's for the good or for the bad. And I feel like it changed me for the better because I don't let people play with me. You cannot play in my face. You cannot, the things people have going on in their lives could not be me. I'm just sorry. I'm not saying I'm better than them. It's just certain things I do not tolerate. I don't do internet games. I'm not doing the back and forth with people I never met. Like, I will cuss you out and go about my day. I will cuss you out and go about my day. It's just certain things I'm just not putting up with, especially when it comes to my peace, when it comes to my elevation, when it comes to how I view things going on in my life. Nobody outside of myself has say over that. Nobody. And when I say nobody, I'm including the people who help create me. They do not have say over what I want to do to elevate my life because they have their own lives to live, right? There's nothing wrong with if I want, like some type of advice or whatever or mentorship. But at this stage in the game, I'm not really looking for that from my parents. My parents are to provide their paternal support and vice versa. And then anything additional, I will go seek that from the people I feel is necessary. Y'all know I'm big on if y'all don't control your mental will control you. I saw this video On top of that, and it's so crazy, I saw this video where this lady talked about how she felt like she didn't need her ADHD medicine, and she did a video for the 3 days she wasn't on it, and the next day when she finally got the refill of her medicine. And when I tell you, some of y'all just might need a little bit of ADHD medicine. That's what's really going on with you. Y'all don't know how to just focus on the task at hand, because some of y'all be all over the place. I know I'm all over the place, but baby, I don't have the ADHD. I don't have any of that. Trust me, I went and got tested for it. I know exactly what is wrong with me. And what was wrong with me is I was letting people play in my face. I was being too nice. And then I had to like bow. I told y'all, nobody could come to me and tell me, oh, I'm getting counseling, I'm getting mental services, da 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 da. Because if I find out you're lying, I cut you off. Because why would you lie about that? Why would you lie about that? Like the simplest thing. Like, some people really don't understand. Like, you don't even have to lie to kick it. I don't care enough. Okay? I don't care enough for you to be lying. And then you want to lie to me? Like, it's weird. Very strange. You're a problem. You're dangerous. People like that are dangerous. I look at you as a family annihilator. Like, you'll take out your whole family and you'll harm me. That's how I feel about it. Because what in the sociopath do you have going on? That's just where I'm at in my life. This is called growth. This is called boundaries. You got to protect that peace at all costs, because a lot of people, they don't know what peace looks like. They don't know what peace feels like. And because they see you over there smiling, you don't look like what you've been through. They want to cause mayhem and confusion in your life. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's why I don't play with nobody. And that's why I keep telling y'all, you better start getting to it. I don't play with my parents. I don't play with when I say nobody, nobody, because last time I checked, we the new adults. Yes or yes? Yes. Okay, let's get into it. So I love that boundaries, no contact from Oprah, because sometimes you have to go no contact with people, because people will really try you. They will try you in your face just to see if you scared to defend your sanity, defend your self-worth, to defend what you have worked so hard to build for. You got to start fighting back for you. That's all I'm saying. Protect your peace, and you know it, and you know it, and you know it. So let's get into it. So we're gonna start off with Kenneka Jenkins' mother, Teresa Martin. So y'all remember in I think it was Chicago. Was it Chicago or Detroit? Let me look it up, because I don't want to get it confused. Teresa Martin was out here, and this was the craziest thing I've seen to date. Okay, you can't trust nobody. Teresa Martin's daughter, Kenneka Jenkins, went viral. And when I say went viral, she went viral for something that was super tragic. You know, it was a crime straight out of one of those crime podcasts. So the mother has been breaking the news lately, coming forth, acting as if someone put a stop to her finding out what happened to her daughter. So 3 days ago, Kenneka Jenkins' mother breaks her silence on daughter's case. They will get me answers. Kenneka Jenkins' mother speaks out about the alleged lies she was told during her daughter's case. 2 years after a $10 million settlement in the death of the 19-year-old Kenneka Jenkins, her mother is speaking out about the lies and says she was told during the case. In a lengthy Facebook post on November 22nd, Teresa Martin Jenkins' mother said she was tricked into accepting a settlement and pressured to stay silent about her daughter, whose lifeless body was found in a walk-in freezer at the Crown Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel in Rosemount, Illinois in September 2017. Baby, when I tell y'all this case haunts me, like, I do not play when it comes to hotels, like, because of that situation. And I've partied at plenty of hotels as an adult. I can't imagine partying, somebody just wandering off and we never see them again. And then her best friend, who never gave up on her, passed away. It was so sad. So let's continue. I still don't know what happened to my child's life. Close shoes, cell phone, hair, and a list goes on, Martin wrote. I have been promised lies, and as if once this case is over, I was forced to never talk about my child again. You did that on your own. And a part of me felt bad until she tried to blame Jebediah Brown. Jebediah Brown aired her out. We're not really going to go into all that back and forth. I'm going to just read this and I'm going to tell y'all my thoughts. Jenkins' death made national headlines after she was found in a hotel walk-in freezer, having wandered into a restricted area following a night partying with friends. That never made sense to me, but let's continue. The Cook County Medical Examiner ruled it an accidental death from hypothermia with intoxication as a factor. And the mother only got $10 million and had to sign a lifelong NDA. Police later admitted the investigation was incomplete and the family suspected foul play as her body was discovered 24 hours after they reported her missing in 2018. In 2018, her family filed a $50 million negligence lawsuit against the hotel, settling for $10 million 5 years later. That's not enough money. That is not enough money. Let's continue. Martin now says she was coerced into accepting the settlement. Coerced by who? That's the only thing I didn't like about this. They forced us, and who is they? They forced us, had us in rooms for hours, and would not let us go until we said that what they wanted us to say. They made us accept what they wanted to give us, she wrote, adding claims that she was forced to record a video. Martin also shared her fear of retaliation for speaking out to her followers. I might be back in court in her post. I will be getting sued because I was tricked, but they will get me answers. Give me her clothes and her cell phone, anything that belongs to her when she died. That was on her body, she wrote. Can you imagine your mother or father settling for $10 million and they have no answers about you? This is why I don't believe Kenneka Jenkins' mother. I believe something more sinister was at play, because I remember, I forget the YouTuber's name. I forget her name. She's a really big she's Black. She's in the crime part of the YouTube, and she showed us videos. When I say us, I'm like, those who are watching, she showed us videos of how, because 5 years ago, that's when I just got to YouTube, when they first settled. And I said, I didn't like that the mother had settled the case. I thought that was crazy. I also said that I spoke about how the woman broke down, how the mother was at that same hotel, I think like a week before. And then we found out that there's a lot of black market organ harvesting going on in the Chicago area, specifically that area of Illinois, which was also strange to me. I mean, everything about it just screamed foul play. Everything about it screamed that there was some type of complicity with it, because the guy who, I think his last name is Fox, who was unalived, who sat down with Jebediah Brown, because y'all know I used to be a part of the Shea Butter Babies, no justice, no peace. I felt like it did not make sense. So we could see in the video, just of all the things that we were able to see from the IG lives and everything, because let me tell you something, ain't nothing like the social media, FBI, CIA, and the feds. Nothing like the social media alphabet boys and girls, because y'all be getting down to the nitty gritty. We had it to where we were so close to finding out what was happening. And then all of a sudden the mother was like, oh, I don't want nobody to look for her. It just gave weird. It just gave weird. It just gave weird. So I was like, what the hell? And now the mother is coming out saying they won't give me answers. Who is the they? Who are the people who forced you to sign these documents? Why did you not get answers? Why did you settle so fast? How come you didn't sue the police department? Like, it's just too much. Please don't cuss in the chat. Now I gotta put you in time out. We don't play that. We don't play that. Thank you. Okay. I see you're trying to stop our monetization. Absolutely not. So you have this woman, this mother, who was boohoo crying all over the TV. People were trying to figure out what's going on. Remember, they were trying to blame the girls, but the girls were still in the room. They never understood why Kanika left. And I feel like Kanika left because her mother called her. I've always felt like that. Because why else would a 19-year-old who's partying at a hotel where they're drinking just up and abruptly leave the room? To me, that's given setup. I'm not saying that the mother is the blame, but what I'm saying is the mother has more to do with it in this case than she's leading on, especially after everything that Jebediah has put out there. They have been harassing Jebediah. We have seen that. Everybody who's been tied to this Kanika Jenkins case that was on the side of right. I'm not talking about the side of left. I'm talking about the side of right. And doing the work, and we was getting closer and closer to answers. We were so close. I remember it was so close because there was something I shared too that would have like put the nail in the coffin, and then all of a sudden it was like, here comes the mother, and then all of a sudden the cookie operation is shut down, and business as usual. That was weird. I've always felt like she got up and she was wondering because she was going to A, speak to her mother, or B, she knew somebody she was supposed to go meet. Because why else would she have access to a restricted area? Have y'all been in a hotel? We're talking about a luxury hotel. This wasn't no Motel 6. This wasn't a hotel where the doors, like as soon as you open the door, you can see outside in the parking lot and stuff. I had to think about it because I'm like, what is it called? When everything was in the inside, everything had cameras. All of a sudden, the cameras is not working properly. It was given setup. And then Jebediah said the quiet part out loud. He said, I don't know if the baby didn't have her organs or not because I never seen the body. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like something sinister is at play. Put a 2 in the chat if you're like, Bree, conspiracy. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like something sinister is at play. Put a 2 in the chat if you like, Bree, it's conspiracy. That's all I'm trying to ask y'all, because to me, when the math ain't mathing, we have to go for the most simple explanation of all the chaos, because it's always cases like this, and we'll probably find out the answers 50 years from now. It's unfortunate. Yes, and they said the video was altered. Remember the guy who sat on the platform with Jebediah? I think he said that. And child, God rest his soul. But everybody who dealt with the case was either... Did y'all notice that? I noticed that. That was scary. It's Jediah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's Jediah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Y'all know I got Louisiana education. I'm saying Jebediah. I'm sorry, Jediah. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm fucking his name up. Child, that's the Louisiana education. Charge it to my head and on my heart. I see some ones in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Of course, her mama sacrificed her. Oh. Let me see. So y'all think it was a sacrifice? Y'all think it was something more going on? Wasn't she bullying her fans the other day? Kiara Sheard? Y'all think I'm one of the Clark sisters' daughters? Less than highly favored? Thank you. Ooh, listen, all I know is this. The mother is shady. Why would you settle for $10 million? That's not enough. I've always said she should have sued the police department because they admitted to not doing their job. She should have sued the hotel, and she should have sued, she should have had the FBI on it. The fact that the FBI, and I wanna tap into this, the fact that the FBI didn't even come through. I think the FBI was supposed to, and she called them off, which was weird and strange in itself. See, if I'm not mistaken, but child, I don't know. I just look and I'm like, no. I'm looking at the mother, lock her up and the rest of the people. This was your daughter. And this is why I say you gotta protect your peace. You know how sinister it is for someone to set their child up for this to happen, or you know this happened because they said they was gonna pay you or something. The harvesting business is intense. Why do y'all think all those young men, women, children are not found? We have all this CCTV, but we can't find missing people. They called the missing people of certain demographics runaways. This is why I am such a big proponent. If you do not want to be a parent, do not have the children. And I'm so happy the girls and the boys are opting out. They're waiting until they have the finances. They're waiting till they have the mental capacity to have the children. Because people are just having kids to set them up to be at the slaughterhouse. I keep telling y'all, they want your children. You know it's very shady how it all happened. And people can't speak because it's involving the... Oh. That's why she keep referring to Kanika as a purple child. Make sure you said allegedly. Oh, I said I'm giving my opinion. I don't know if this is factual. The only thing I know is factual is the mother is wrong. The mother settled. She said she settled and she didn't get no information. Those are her words. Her words. The mother said that. Can we get 100 more likes, please, and thank you? Can we get 100 more likes, please, and thank you? Right, Zach TV was unalive, and he was. I remember when it was a big thing. I cried about that. Like, Zach TV is just one of many who was out here doing the work. We don't have to name them, but y'all know who they are, who have been actively fighting against the system, and they just magically disappeared. I said, what the hell is happening? And nobody batted an eye. Everybody was acting like it was okay. Jediah Brown was like, I am not okay. And I said... And y'all know, I don't know if, I think Wiley wanted to interview him. It never got to happen. I really hope Wiley get to interview him because they are from Chicago. I think that would be amazing. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And this is why I say you can't trust... You cannot trust anybody. People will literally... People will lie and say they care and they love their children. They don't be loving their children. They be knowing their kids is in harm's way and don't give a damn. That's why I'm always team lock them parents up too. Lock them parents up too. But let's move right along. Let's get into Ziwe. Why are they dragging Ziwe? Let's talk about it, shall we? So Ziwe is a Nigerian-American podcaster. Her TV show got canceled, but she still has her YouTube channel. Y'all know she's one of the girls. Okay, the gays love her. And when I'm talking about the gays, we're talking about the wives. Okay, so she did this pod. Let me see if I have it. And people were upset, but these are the lines of questioning she's always asked. She always do something outrageous, very like that type of comedy. Let's get into it.
Gay son or a thought?
All right, so let's go to it.
Would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter?
I would rather have 2 healthy kids. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Two healthy children. And the fact that you have to, like, put them in those categories says a lot about who you are.
Oh, right? No, don't you dare.
I'm just telling you, I think the real problem is in the thinker, not the answerer. The thinker. Maybe you should just ponder on that for a second.
Which do you give less of a fuck about, gay rights or women's rights?
Well, first and foremost, rights are rights. You should care about them all. Everybody has a voice, and everybody deserves to be heard. What I want to do is be a part of the change that the world desperately deserves and hopefully get us to a point where we're all on the same accord.
So many people were outraged, and just to prove they were outraged, I'll read some comments. This question is so cringe and needs to stop being asked. I'm sure she was embarrassed as Kevin not playing the low vibrational game. It wasn't a diss, but a harsh and loud correction. Ouch and amen. He packaged her right up. That's just the humor of the show. He was well aware they played their parts well. I enjoyed the episode. They both had me screaming. Listen, that's and I'm happy. So many people were like, "Oh my God, why would she ask?" She does it every time. Y'all have been on Ziwe's neck ever since she did the interview with Mayor Eric Adams, the former mayor, the corrupt mayor, as y'all call him. Y'all don't let people just. Everything does not have to be politically correct. You know why it doesn't have to be politically correct? Because they're actively showing y'all they think white is right. So please let us have something. Y'all complain about the TV shows. Y'all complain about the movies. We're never going to get a hangover ever again because y'all are so sensitive. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about y'all. Y'all don't laugh at nothing. We're never going to get a Archie Bunker. You're never going to get ever again. You're never going to get somebody from All in the Family. You're not going to get the Sanfords and Sons because y'all are so politically correct. My God. Like, comedy is supposed to push the boundaries. If it's not funny, I promise you it will land. It will land and we'll sit there and it's not funny. That's what we're here for. But my God, y'all hate that they keep remaking the same three shows. It's because people are scared to tap into true creativity and ingenuity because y'all are such crybabies. Y'all have these think pieces. Who gives a fuck? He didn't have to play the game. He wanted to go there because Ziwe is well received in wide spaces. Mama found out how to be dark skinned, petite, and fix the teeth and got to the bag. Oh, please stop cussing in the chat. My God. Look, I tell y'all to stop cussing and y'all keep doing it. Nobody cares about your opinion, okay? Nobody cares about your opinion when you can't articulate your talking points. My God. I just feel like this. I'm not upset with Ziwe. I don't even care that she's Nigerian American. I don't care. She's funny. When it hits, it hits. And if it's not funny, we talk about it. That's the beauty of comedy. She's a comedian. I think people forget that. I think people forget who she is, or they simply don't care or they don't know. They don't know. And for that, I say, you're welcome. Hey, Feminine Melanin, what is going on? So, Ziwe being dragged, she got thick skin. She'll figure it out. She's laughing all the way to the bank. I just saw she was at somebody's fashion show. It is what it is. Do well, love bug. Do well. Get this money. All this money is on the table. Make sure you go get yours. Oh. Oh my God. Now I'm gonna have to talk about Ray J and Princess Love. We're gonna talk about it, so don't worry. Let's see who else we got on here. Let's see who's on the menu. And yes, shout out to the mods. Shout out to Darius. Thank you for putting that in the chat. So we're going to get into, we already covered Ziwe. We're going to save Kandi last. Let's get into MAGA. So we're going to do MAGA. MAGA has been failing. MAGA has been failing horribly. And when I say horribly, because we know their moves, we know what's going on. They're actively working to get social media taken away. Hence why they want TikTok bought up. Keep fighting the machine. Keep fighting the power, okay? Keep fighting the power, and I'm going to tell y'all why. Because the girls is upset. They're scared. It has become a travesty, and I don't give a damn. So let's play it. Oh, here's the Oprah clip. So I'm going to play this Oprah clip for y'all so y'all can see. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm going to just play a little snippet, but it's this one.
I am estranged from my 30-year-old son by choice. And what I do notice, even in the room, when the children were speaking, people were kind of nodding and agreeing with them. But the moment Christy started telling her side of the story, people were kind of like, you know what I'm saying? My platform.
I'm going to put that in the Base Squad chat. So if you're not in the Base Squad chat, then where are you at? That is what I was referring to when I was talking about the Oprah. I didn't know that I had it. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. A lot of people did not enjoy it, and that's because of whatever. I don't care about them. I'm talking about myself. I enjoyed this Oprah episode. I enjoyed it so much, I watched it twice. I just couldn't believe people were standing on business. But let's get into it.
The reason Trump wanted the ACA subsidies to expire so badly is because he stands to make billions of dollars. And the seeming quote unquote reversal now, where he's all of a sudden pushing for an extension to the subsidies for 2 years, is not him changing his mind. It's actually just the last step in the grift. As I'm sure some of you have guessed by now, it all has to do with Trump RX. But that's not all, because he's actually screwing us over in more ways than one. In fact, I'm fairly certain that he's using the part of the Inflation Reduction Act that was designed to lower prescription costs for Medicare in order to set this whole thing up, which is especially messed up because lowering the costs for Medicare lowers the cost for us, the taxpayers. And in fact, lowering these costs could be the first step to extending Medicare to all. As many of you know, I've been trying to make this video for about 2 weeks, but it is sprawling. This is the shortest and simplest version I can come up with. But I think it's important that everyone understand how this is happening because we're about to see a bunch of important and related announcements over the next couple of weeks. At least that's my prediction. So the Inflation Reduction Act, which was passed only by Democrats, despite what a lot of Republicans would like for you to believe, and signed into law by Biden, did a bunch of things. But specifically in this case, it finally created a system by which CMS, or the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, was able to negotiate directly with pharmaceutical manufacturers. Because before this, they couldn't. Why? Republicans. It's always Republicans. If the government can negotiate directly with pharmaceutical manufacturers, then the government can get really good prices because the government represents a lot of people. And really good prices for the government mean smaller profits for Big Pharma, though they still make a lot of profit. But this is how universal healthcare works around the world. In fact, it's how other parts of Medicare and Medicaid work, because the parts that they administer themselves and don't have to go through insurance companies because of Republicans, Medicare pays way lower prices for the exact same services as private insurance companies do. But Republicans like Big Pharma more than they like Americans, or saving money. So anyway, the IRA finally lets CMS negotiate directly with manufacturers, but it actually goes further than that. It forces manufacturers to negotiate with CMS, just a few medications at a time, and it's just the ones that Medicare spends the most money on. Technically, the companies don't have to negotiate, but it is in their best interest to do so, because if they don't, then the government can just set a price and say, anything above this, you're gonna help subsidize. So, maybe come to the table. We can work something out. But also in that, there is a ceiling in IRA to the maximum fair price that they're about to negotiate. Basically, there's an equation that determines you can't go above this amount. So anyway, the first round of this with 10 medications under Biden went really well. They negotiated the prices way down, up to 76% in some cases. And it's estimated that these new maximum fair prices are going to save Medicare $6 billion in that first year alone. And the first round of new lower prices go into effect January 1st, 2026. So I wonder who's going to take credit for that. The selection process for the second round of 15 medications this time began right after that. Then the selected 15 are finally announced right on schedule on January 17th, 2025, 3 days before Donald Trump takes office for the second time. What a day we will always remember. And all this brings us to this meeting. Remember the guy who fainted? That's a separate story, though it is why I accidentally discovered this whole thing. But the meeting is about these new low GLP-1 prices for Medicare, which Trump is claiming he negotiated. Wow. How did he do that, I wonder? This is how. Because the GLP-1s were selected under Biden for forced negotiation. It is worth noting that while Eli Lilly's GLP-1s weren't on the list, they are direct competitors. Also, they had to drop their prices precipitously earlier this year because a generic daily version of their GLP-1 was approved. They also happen to be waiting on FDA approval for orforglipron, the pill version of their GLP-1. So, but we figured out that you can estimate a sort of upper limit to what that ceiling to the maximum fair price would have been under the IRA. We can't know exactly because it's based on non-FAMP or the non-federal average manufacturer price, which is secret. But basically, if we look at like discount retailers, so like GoodRx, Costco, etc., they're basically delivering a lower price to consumers by avoiding the negotiations with insurance and just using the manufacturer coupons and discounts, etc., to give you a lower price. They love it because they probably would have gotten paid less when dealing with insurance. You love it because maybe even if your insurance does cover it, your deductible is super high, whatever. So we can look at those retail numbers and assume that the price that manufacturers are selling those medications at are going to be lower than that. But let's apply the equation to that retail price. The retail price for all of these except for one is basically around $350. And the number we get, fun fact, is $262.50, which just so happens to be around the $245 that he's touting as this new incredibly negotiated price for Medicare. Long story short, he got us a bad deal. Probably the worst deal he could have gotten us. But why? Why? What's in it for him? What's always in it for him? Of course. He's also bragging about the new lowered costs for all other Americans through Trump RX. Yes, that's right. Ultimately, it appears that he is setting up a .gov version of GoodRx. There's a discount retail option now that's not covered by any insurance nor Medicare, but it is lower than the list price, which you were probably never going to pay anyway. Also kind of funny, despite him claiming that the Trump RX price is like the lowest retail price ever, most of these are already priced at exactly this price or lower. So is he getting retailers a good deal? No. So I don't know. But to me, it kind of looks like he got Medicare a really bad deal. That's our money. And in exchange, he forced these pharma companies to make a deal with whatever this discount retailer is going to be. But Brenna, Trump RX is a .gov website. It's a portal. They're calling it a portal. Kind of like the ACA marketplace. Yes, it is a government-run website, but it's simply a portal connecting individuals to a private company on the other end that they are doing business with. The government itself is not selling you the other end that they are doing business.
And she goes into detail, but I had to show y'all because some of y'all are on
The reason Trump wanted the ACA...
the Medicare. I have private insurance, so, you know, either way, I'm paying it. You know, did my rates go up? Yes. Our rates went up. Okay. Our rates went up, and I was just like, Jesus. I was like, okay. The rates are going up, but y'all are trying to dismantle the nurses, the doctors, baby. At this point, y'all gonna have to pray. Y'all gonna have to pray. But the reason I say MAGA is failing is because the girls are waking up. The girls are waking up. You have Caroline Levitt, who is the press secretary, who helped her brother get his baby mama detained by ICE. That's what the girls are saying. If you go down to the tickety talk, I don't have TikTok. I told y'all I was not getting on that out app, but I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, right? The girls on Tickety Talk are waking it up. They're like, his baby mama been a Hispanic woman, and all of a sudden she's getting picked up by ICE, been detained by ICE because of so he get full custody of their son. Yes, car and health insurance goes up in Detroit just because the wind blows. The sun is too hot. So we're used to it nonetheless. MAGA is definitely failing, and I do not accept their apology. They meant that ish with their chest. They saw all the think pieces improve and still was right of the way. Child, they out here crying, but you know what I found funny? MAGA is failing because the Asians have now started alerting and dragging all the other Asians who are married to the whites, saying that they will get your ass deported. Look what they did to Caroline Levitt's sister-in-law. I said, and mind you, the woman was engaged. Caroline has not said anything, and I don't expect her to, because I expect nothing less from women who have instilled supremacy into their DNA. They have instilled it, they have upheld it due to their core fiber just being nasty individuals. Is this all of them? No, but it's most. It's most. Some of you won't even take the time to read a book, let alone do the research yourself. The reason why a lot of the FBA is against feminism is simply due to the ideology and the principles of white women who were upholding supremacy talking points so that they could be over somebody. So even though DEI was beneficial to us, they were the ones who were rewarded through it because white women are a protected class through DEI. Not anymore. Not anymore. And I don't have a problem with that, right? But Caroline, do you think she's going to use her privilege, her notoriety to help out this soon-to-be sister-in-law who her brother proposed to? No, they want that hoe up out the way so they can get the son. And I need y'all to start thinking with your brains. And this is why I was so proud of the Asians out here dog walking other Asians, because now is the time to let them know. They said, hey, look, you think because they did an Asian no hate bill that they like you? They used you to dismantle things. And you were the leading person because you're stupid. And they said, now look at you. They don't even care about you. You're assimilating to whiteness. And what is that going to get you? Deported. Baby, I almost spit out my peppermint hot tea. The weather is changing, so you got to put a little something good in you. Drink your teas. Drink your teas. Sometimes you got to drink the teas. Get your herbal medicines. So I'm sitting up there and I'm just like, oh my God. Not is Asian on Asian crime. I love it. I love that the girls are fighting. I love that the Asians are waking up. I love that they're telling other Asians you are not white. They used you. They went and got some real white folk, the spicy whites, the true whites, and they're pedestalizing them over you. They said no matter how many times you birth their children, you adopt to their culture, you wear the loafers, you look stupid, assimilating to their beauty standards, they will never accept you. And baby, I loved it. MAGA is failing. MAGA is failing. You know how I know MAGA is failing? Because White Friday was not a success. Shout out to y'all for calling it White Friday with me. White Friday was not a success. All of the people who were talking about back in the day after Thanksgiving, people used to camp out. Nobody was outside. I am so proud of y'all. The sales are not hitting. I told y'all don't need a new TV. Your insurance is going up. And when I say your insurance, I'm talking dental, health, ENT, eyes, cars, home. Hell, the premiums are going up. Nothing is going down. Don't buy into it. Now you need to start cutting ties. You got to do your budget. You got to write down how much are you bringing in versus you putting out. I told y'all, I'm going to have to start going into the cash option. I'm not one of those content creators who are going to fearmonger y'all. You're going to have to start going into the cash option. You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to do that. They're making it to where it's harder. There's all types of stuff happening now. See, baby, when the white women are awoken, and I'm not talking about the ones who pedestalize certain things. I'm talking about the ones who understand their history, because not everybody understands their history. You know, they are not buying into you have to be like this to be like this. Hey, AT2, hey, love. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the girls who really understand what's going on. The ones who are really waking it up. Especially this one.
Reforms are key strategy. Education policy reform.
Education policy reforms are key strategies for increasing the married birth rate. This Heritage Foundation paper from last year that I've been talking about, this was co-authored by Lindsay Burke, the author of the education chapter in Project 2025, who now works in Trump's Department of Education. So these recommendations are officially showing up now in federal policy. The document argues that the decline in America's birth rate is happening because young people spend too many years in school. Public schools weaken religiosity. And because federal higher ed subsidies artificially steer people away from early marriages and having children, hence married birth rate. Their ideas for pro-fertility strategies are expanding access to religious K-12 schools, weakening teacher credentialing requirements, pushing young people toward work earlier, ending government-backed loans, and all these support programs. So now, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act eliminates Grad Plus loans and puts tighter limits on Parent Plus loans. So elements of the...
And Marjorie Taylor Greene, with her bitch ass, was the one who got it up in there. Never let her forget, because let me tell you something. These MAGA women, they're going to act like, oh my God, I was forced to do it. I had no option. I didn't know what to do. They threatened my life. Now I'm a target. Never let them forget. Say their names. The Marjorie Taylor Greenes, the Nancys, the Nancy Maces, yes. The Christy Gnomes, yes. The Caroline Levitts, yes. Okay, say their names. Melania Trump, Usha Vance, say their names. The Erica Kirks. Don't let them just go out here and be like, oh, they told me. No, do not buy into them tears. When they start crying, hand them a tissue and then get to dog walking them.
Push to end student loan cancellation, reverse save, and reform repayment/forgiveness are in fact underway. They also say that religious schooling increases fertility because religious adults have more children, and because public schools make it harder for families to raise children with values that support marriage and childbearing. The government should level the playing field so that more kids attend private and religious schools, aka vouchers. And we can also see how Christian nationalists are pushing their agenda into curriculum on a more state-by-state scale. So all of this, with the transfer of education functions out of the Department of Education, is alarming. So I'm going to be keeping a way closer eye on things coming out of think tanks like this, because clearly they are putting this stuff. Education policy reforms are key.
And they're putting it in things you have to read. And this is why I'm going to keep advocating. Y'all have to read. Don't just take people's word for it. Don't take my word. Go read it. Go read what they're doing in your state, your city, your council. Because, baby, they've already told us, if you have the bank, they're going to take it and they're going to instill all those things. It's very instrumental. That's why people are calling it out. MAGA is failing. They only operate off of the dollar, in the sense. I just put up an article where this black MAGA supporter was like, they were like, well, we don't want black support. We want the white support. We cannot have you in the picture. And the man was upset. I posted it. It's on my community tab. Baby, MAGA is failing. They keep telling you it's all about, it's classism, it's this. Baby, if it's not white, it's not right. Do you understand? They don't want y'all black asses. They don't want your brown asses. They don't want your any other ass but what? Are you white and rich? Because they don't want you poors either. They don't want you poors. They only want y'all to produce new slaves. They want to steal your children. But y'all don't believe me because y'all think it's a game. But speaking of stealing, let's talk about Kandi. Kandi in this prenup. Baby, Kandi, they're saying that Todd is contesting the prenup. I told y'all when she was over there crying on the stage, hooting and carrying on, and then about the breakdown on the speak on it. It has everything to do with that prenup. Look, I don't have to care for Kandi to know that Kandi built her brand, her empire, brick by brick. Brick by brick. Vibrator by vibrator, okay? Sex toy by sex toy. We know what she did. Every yodel, every horrible script, she did that, okay? Kandi's only failure was marrying Todd. Todd did nothing for the brand. And I keep telling y'all this because Todd is, prior to him marrying Kandi, he was in the tax brackets of the people like myself and others. He married very well and then did not elevate Kandi at all. All he did was control the how she should move, how she should negotiate some contracts because he has behind the scenes stuff, but that didn't equate to a multi-million-dollar anything. It's not like Kandi went from, I don't know how much she's worth, but it's not like when she got there, she was at 30 million and now she's worth 500 million. That prenup being contested is because Todd knows he played the long game. He played the long game. She should have had Nicole Kidman's lawyers. Maybe she can't afford them. I don't know. Because Nicole Kidman had to give Keith Urban like $1 million or something like that. A few million, 10 million to walk away. Hence why she's out here living her best, getting the deals. She done leveled up. This is why you cannot marry somebody who's beneath you in status, beneath you in stature, beneath you in just overall everything except for him being a man. That's the only thing he has over Kandi. He's a man. But her being married to him did nothing for her. This is why I don't understand when people align their brands into being their marriage into being a part of the brand. Separate that. Have the marriage be private. Granted, she was on TV, but I didn't feel like she had to tie everything together. It was weird. It was strange. I never liked them together, even though I don't care for Kandi. I'm not going to sit up here and lie about who she is. I knew who Kandi was before she got on The Real Housewives. I knew her accomplishments. I knew she wrote mega hits. I knew she was a Grammy Award writer. I knew that. And I also knew she was a freak-a-leak because they've been calling Kandi a whore, right? So there's nothing that Todd did for Kandi that made me go, oh my God, Todd is just really doing it. Y'all like to make Todd seem like he's a Jay-Z. Like he's a Steve Harvey. Like he's a Jeff Bezos. Like he's a Memphis Bleak. Like he's a Nori. Nothing about Todd gives multi-million-dollar. Nothing about that. Nothing about that. It says, let me see what y'all are saying. Facts. Todd was getting her into a lot of debt. He was getting her in a lot of debt. I mean, she was getting sued left and right. Whatever she generated after they were married, she's going to have to split it. That's not necessarily true. That's why they have a prenup. I don't know the details, but I did hear that he's contesting it. And when women do it, everybody thinks it's cool. So bravo for Todd. No, there's some women I don't think, but I also feel like you got to protect your assets. When Kobe was getting his divorce and Vanessa got everything, she got half, that's because of the prenup they had in place. And he was caught cheating. He was caught cheating. Remember, he was in an SA lawsuit. He was on trial for SA. So the things is different. Over here, Todd being there while she was generating money, cool. He's going to get some money simply because they have children. He's getting the child support. Hell, he's even probably going to get some spousal support. But for him to get half, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's not how that works. They had a prenup in place. All she had to do was listen to her mother, and she didn't want to listen, and now she has to pay for that. She do have to pay. Beyonce has heard of Jay-Z, and Jay-Z is next. Do y'all have proof of that? Baby, Beyonce is young. All she has to do is wait on Jay-Z, because Jay-Z is older than her. All she has to do is feed him some grease, and I think Beyonce the least she would have been left. Todd wants a successful business. What successful business he made since they were together, like a wealthy business? He hasn't made anything. I hate that she stayed married to him for 11 years. He's entitled to Social Security. Now, that is truthful. That is truthful. And that's the only thing I'm seeing here. I'm just like, girl. But she said she was over there faking it, and now she has to have peace. And I think the peace of mind is the money. Baby, when the money is funny, you can't produce no honey. This is why I will continue to not be mad at the She-Ras and the Sprinkles and the Ashley Daltons and the rest of the girlies. Why are y'all marrying these broke men? And you're not broke. See, the problem is, and it goes to the social balance. I don't do level up that plus content anymore. But I used to tell you, a Todd Tucker, I call him Todd Burris, y'all. A Todd Tucker should have been with somebody like a librarian. Should have been with a country girl from CVS or something. Somebody who like has a job but does not make more than him. He was insecure in that relationship. He never felt secure. See, Jay-Z was already rich. So when he got with Beyonce, he was already a rich man. Jay-Z just got older. It happens. And he was able to transform from a rapper to a mogul. I'll take it even a step further. Let's look at Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey married Marjorie. Marjorie said, I'm not marrying you. You don't make enough money. What did that man do? He went to go make some more money and then came back and said, I'm making money now. I want you. And she looked at him and said, Y'all get so mad at the girls because they're smart. They're thinking with their brain and not their puss. A lot of y'all get upset about that, but I'm here for it. Why would you, in a little bit of time now that you have the freedom to marry who you want, marry somebody who's not on your level or better? That's a control thing. You got to go heal that. She has to go heal that. He was using Kandi's credit cards to swipe the visas. And there's nothing wrong with that because I told you, there's women in this world who want to be sugar mamas. I let them be the sugar mamas. But Kandi is tired of being a sugar mama. You can tell she done lost that weight. It's 2025 now. She might start living in her truth. It is what it is. But I'm not going to act like I'm oblivious to what's going on. No. Absolutely not. The girls love a project. I'm sorry, it could not be me. She wrote No Scrubs with her homegirl and then went and married a scrub. And the reason I call him a scrub because Kandi was already up here. Todd was right here. They were not on equal playing field. The problem is men want it both ways. We live in a patriarchal society. If we were living in a matriarchal society, then I get it. Cut the check. What is he going to do for Big Mama? I understand. But that's not the case. Men are supposed to provide and protect. He was not providing and he wasn't protecting. The money was going out. Wasn't the weapon incident his cousin? Isn't that what they're saying? Didn't somebody wake up that tea? The girl said not only was he out there, he was doing his own thing. Child, please. Wait, what do y'all say? What do the boys say on the pods? If your man is making all this money, just shut up and cook or something like that. How come he wasn't shutting up and cooking? How come he wasn't providing, you know, a home she could go rest her head at? She can't be too for the streets. She was a married woman. Hey, Magic T3. I'm out here in California. I also work in Hollywood, and out here it's brutal. Whatever you guys generate together after the marriage is what's going to be divided. That's not how it is in Georgia. They have a prenup. He's entitled to some benefits. Like, he's going to get Social Security, but they're going to have to duke it out. That's why I said this divorce is going to get messy, because Todd don't have anything. She's the pocketbook. Look at Off the Cheat. Off the Cheat is losing his mind. Kandi already showed her face publicly, baby. Kandi was not embarrassed about nothing. If she could be on national television with the AJ, it means nothing. Y'all act like because she was out here giving it up on her own fruition that she was embarrassed about who she is. Kandi is not embarrassed. Kandi got pregnant by a married man and then told the world about it. Like, please, we got to stop making up these false narratives in our brain. She wanted Todd, and now she's seeing what marrying down gets you. Marrying down. This is what happens when you marry beneath you. If you're somebody who's making all this money, generating like 100K plus or whatever, why would you marry somebody who only generates $10,000? That's a man. Y'all keep believing into these fairy tales, but then you want to get mad at Tyler Perry for capitalizing off y'all pain. Because we can see you. We can see you. There's so many women who married down and it did not work out for them. Let's name them. Let's start with Jill Scott, shall we? Jill Scott, Mary J. Blige, Wendy Williams. And these are women who had to pay their exes. These are women who had to pay their exes. Halle Berry. Nicole Kidman. Sherry Shepherd. Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson just stopped paying because her ex-husband died. Look at God. He was doing all that stuff to her. And he passed away. She no longer has to pay. She gets to keep all the homes, everything she worked for. She was out there fool-la-la and singing and all that stuff. And he was cheating the whole time. She said it. Kelly Clarkson is the only one who is free from the shackles of paying a dusty. Yes, you should praise God. Where I'm from, we celebrate death. We don't wallow in misery. If you don't celebrate the death of people, then that's on you. I'm from New Orleans. We dance in the street when someone dies. Culture. Maybe you should get you some. I don't know. I'm not speaking ill of him. He was a dusty. He was a cheater. He was hiding money. We said Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige even had to pay child support for children she never birthed. Like, what is happening? What is happening? Y'all be out here so mad. Listen, and they married because they thought these men loved them. The men didn't love them. They saw them as a check, and they hit a lick. You can either be a Kandi Burruss or Jeff Bezos' new wife. You can either be a Kandi Burruss or Jeff Bezos' new wife. They will figure it out. The world is built for the men. Opportunities for the men. Okay? They get paid more anyways. Like, he's a man. He can't make it. If he has to make it off of a woman, I'm looking at you as a side eye. I'm not mad at it. You know, do you, player? But I see you. This is why I'm like, Kandi's prenup drama is drama. Because she decided to marry a dusty man, a man who was not on her level. She should have just been over there hunching. She was worried about the fact that people was out here calling her a hoe. Baby, when you have a baby with a married man, that is the label you put on yourself. You understand that, Lotto? When you have a baby with a married man, be prepared to be called everything but a child of God. You have to wear the scarlet letter. See, I read the book in honors English. Some of y'all didn't read the book. And that was crazy. The Crucible. I read the book. It was all these books about these women who were messing with these married men, and they were called witches. They was burnt at the stake. They was just doing what the people in society made them do. Like, you will go, that married man wants you, you need to go over there and figure it out and bring back some coins. This is why I keep telling y'all, if you don't know your history, you don't know where you're going. That's why some of you are so confused that they want y'all children. They want y'all dumb, uneducated, no hope, and pregnant. Because the quickest way into poverty, the quickest way into strife, the quickest way into financial abuse is to have someone's children. Y'all don't understand me though. Kandi was just discussing her finances with Crystal Renee and might bite her in the butt. Ooh. The true gold diggers are men. I've been saying that. Todd went out like a fool, helping her delusions, making her think she can restart something you simply cannot restart. What did he help her do? I mean, he may have given her the idea, but he didn't put no check to it. We don't even know if they're his ideas. He had a business and let it fail. He had a whole trucking company and didn't know how to make it pop. That's how I know he's just a hustler. He's a 2-bit hustler. But that's her bag. She gonna have to fight to protect her assets. When he didn't want anybody to have access to the money but him, I knew what type of man he was. I see Kelly Clarkson at least 4 times per week on the lot at Universal Pictures. It didn't go over my head, it went over your head. See, you're upset because I'm not buying into the I am man Henry Ward. I'm not listening to you. You men don't do nothing but pilferage, take, destroy. There's a handful of y'all that stand on the side of right. And to them, the good men, we praise y'all, we uplift y'all, we clap. The rest of y'all, please get out of here. Go cry in somebody else's chat. That don't make no sense. Go do something that will benefit the children. If you're not actively out here protecting the children, because a lot of y'all are not, because you're children yourselves, I don't want to hear it. Y'all are actively standing in line, huffing and puffing and applauding. Yes, make the laws go back so them hoes can go be barefoot in the kitchen, cooking and cleaning and taking themselves out because they hate their lives. Y'all want that because y'all are dying by yourselves alone. There's a male loneliness epidemic. When women are alone, women have community. The men do not. The men do not. Y'all get upset because y'all be at the strip club, Mano, talking about some, I'm paying for strippers, but they don't want to take it a step further. The strippers are not prostitutes. Every day it's something. But look, she has to fight for it. I just don't agree. I don't agree that this woman who was a millionaire, multi-millionaire, should be giving this man who was a nobody anything. He's already getting the child support. He's already going to get that. He's already going to get the Social Security. He's already going to get the spousal support. But he wants half. He wants half to dwindle it away. Kandi, you need to fight for your money. You need to fight for your money. Just because it says in the prenup that he's not to get child support and spousal support, y'all gotta go look at the documents. The documents say joint custody. She's asking for joint custody so she doesn't have to pay as much child support. He's getting child support. And he's definitely going to get spousal support. He has been talking on TV for years saying that Kandi is overworking, but she's the only one working. She's overworking herself. The children need her. He needs her. He hates that she's successful, but he hates himself because he's not successful at all. He didn't even attempt to try. Just because you have two attorneys, y'all are talking about a prenuptial agreement, and see, this is why I know y'all just believe anything. A prenup can be contested. He can contest it, right? She has to fight to prove it needs to stand. But when it comes into the matters of children, that's a whole separate thing. That's why Anthony Edwards is going to have to pay little baby's baby mama. Aisha, she's getting that money. Because no matter what he say, he's going to have to pay. It just is what it is. It is what it is. You cannot determine child support through a prenup. That's not how it works. Because they did not go to family court. That is a whole separate court. That's why these family unalivers be taking the kids out. I'm just telling the people, I want them to understand those are two separate courts. Where you determine child support is family. That's not even in the same building as divorce. I'm just here to tell y'all. Todd is still going to come up and he will leave with more than he left. Yeah, he didn't bring nothing up in there but a plastic bag. He didn't bring nothing up in there but a plastic bag. A 2-bit hustler. Mano is a cornball. He's definitely a cornball. But y'all, that's all I have for y'all. I have to bring y'all there. If you're in the Bay Squad chat, I'm going to put in that clip about the Oprah episode. I'm also going to put in there the clip about the ACA entitlements so it can break it down further so you can kind of look into what y'all have going on. Because the more you know, listen, the better well you are prepared, the easier it will be for you to have a fighting chance. A lot of you just give up so easily. I've never been one to give up because at the end of the day, this is your life. You have to live in it. You don't want people to dictate how you should live. Some of you can't dictate the basics, and y'all think y'all want a dictator? Y'all, please. But I mean, unless y'all marry y'all a Candy Burris, don't listen to me. And on that note, comment down below. We gotta go. Bye, hoes.